Members, it is time to make a start. We have attained the quorum. Item 1, confirmation of the minutes of the 24th meeting held on May the 3rd. We have no proposed amendments. Can I take the minutes as confirmed? Matters arising. When we met the CS, the Vice Chairman made the proposal that the administration should hold off presenting any subsidiary legislation to avoid a situation where the amendments cannot be made due to the length of time taken to handle the appropriation bill. The CS said that she will ask the bureaus to look at the urgency of the subsidiary legislation. There are 8 pieces that have been gazetted. The Director of Admin told me that the administration will avoid introducing subsidiary legislation during this time unless there is an urgency or unless members are all supportive of them. Are there any questions? If not, business arising from previous council meetings, Legal Service Division reports on bills referred to the House in accordance with Rule 54.4. Legal advisor, please. Chairman, thank you. The first bill is the Hong Kong Arts Development Council Amendment Bill 2013, paper LS50. This bill seeks to amend the legislation regarding the nomination of members, and members can take part in the nomination, and cross-arts interest nomination will also be allowed. Should this be enacted, this will go into effect on the date this is gazetted. In fact, on the 18th of January, the panel briefed the Home Affairs panel on the bill. Members raised a couple of concerns at the meeting. Well, before the movements were made in 1997, 1999, all these proposed nomination mechanism was adopted. So the previous nominations were not done in accordance with the law, and that gave rise to some legal implications as to whether the previous nominations would have any bearing on the decision taken by the ADC. We are seeking clarifications from the administration in this regard. Members might wish to settle the Bills Committee in the light of the concerns expressed. Ms. Sitho? Chairman, I propose the Bills Committee. Any objection? Any members wishing to join? There will be further circulation of invitations. The second item is Inland Revenue Amendment number 2, Bill 2013. Legal advisor. Will members please refer to LS 49? The bill seeks to amend the Inland Revenue Ordinance to give effect to the proposals concerning tax concessions in the budget. And they include the child allowance from $63,000 to $70,000, and also deduction for personal studies from $60,000 to $80,000, and also 75% of salaries tax reduction up to a cap of $10,000. The government did not consult on the FA panel. Should this go through, this will be gazetted. Questions? Bills Committee. Mr. Sin Chung Kai proposes a Bills Committee on objection. Who would like to join the Bills Committee? Again, there will be further circulation. The next one is the Product Eco Responsibility Amendment Bill 2013, Legal Advisor. Chairman, thank you. Please refer to paper LS 47. The bill seeks to extend the charges on plastic shopping bags to all sales of goods by retail. There will also be a fixed penalty system for offences involving failure to collect the levies. The EA panel was consulted on November the 28th. There are some policy changes involved. The members may wish to have a Bills Committee formed. Bills Committee? All right, there is a proposal. Dr. Kenneth Chen, any member wishing to join. The next one is Professional Accountants Amendment Bill 2013. Legal advisor, please. Well, this has not been subject to a first and second reading. We can leave it till next time. Moving on next to Legal Service Division report on subsidiary legislation, gazetted on May the 3rd and tabled in the Council on May the 8th. Legal advisor, please. Chairman, thank you. Please refer to paper LS 52. There are 8 items of subsidiary legislation. The first 4 have to do with the protection of intellectual property, Patents Ordinance Amendment of Scheduled 1 Order 2013, Registered Designs Ordinance Amendment of Scheduled Regulation 2013, Trademarks Ordinance Amendment of Schedule 1 Regulation 2013, and Layout, Design, Topography of Integrated Circuits, Designation of Qualifying Countries, Territories, or Areas Amendment Regulation 2013. These are intended to amend the regulation regarding the updating of the countries that have signed up to the Paris Convention. These will go into effect on 28th of June 2013. We complete the rest of the paper, please. Yes, Chairman. The other one has to do with the avoidance of double taxation. There are 3 items there, and they are Inland Revenue Double Taxation Relief and Prevention of Fiscal Evasion with respect to taxes on income and capital, Republic of Austria's second protocol order. This is to amend the CDTA previously signed with Austria. And this has to do with the exchange of information to make sure that everything is in line with the OECD arrangement. The other 2 are namely Inland Revenue Double Taxation Relief Canada Order and the Inland Revenue Double Taxation Relief Jersey Order. And these are the CDTAs entered into with Canada and Jersey. They involve the exchange of information arrangement, and this is on the basis of the 2004 OECD model. These 3 pieces will go into effect on the 28th of June 2013. The last piece of subsidiary legislation is the Employees Retraining Ordinance Amendment of Schedule 2, Notice 2013. This is to amend Schedule 2 of the Principal Ordinance to include 3 training bodies, to remove 15 training bodies, and to revise the name of 1 training body in the list. This has become effective on the 3rd of May, the day that this was gazetted. All right, then, members, there are 3 sets of subsidiary legislation. The first one is updating the names of the countries under the Paris Convention. Do you see the need for a subcommittee? If not, the next batch, double taxation relief, a subcommittee. The third one is the Employees Retraining Ordinance, the list of training bodies, subcommittee. No, all right, just a reminder that the deadline for amendment is June the 5th. Further business for Council meeting of May the 15th, 2013. Report number 16/12 to 13 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation and Other Instruments. The report covers 2 items, the period of amendment of which will expire on May the 15th. Members, please note the report and see whether you would like to indicate your interest to speak. Right, there is no members who will be speaking. I don't have to move any motion there. All right, and bills, resumption of debate on second reading, committee stage, and third reading. District Council's Amendment Bill 2013. We have already had a report at the last House Committee, and members did not raise an objection to the resumption debate on the bill. Business for Council meeting on May the 22nd. Questions. There will be 22 questions, 6 oral and 16 written. Bills, first and second reading. There is no notice there. Government motions. Proposed resolution under Section 7A of the Legal Aid Ordinance, Cap 91, to be moved by the Secretary for Home Affairs. Legal advisor, please. Chairman, will members please refer to paper LS 53. The proposed resolution seeks to amend the ordinance to raise the financial eligibility limits by 3.75% in line with the CPIA. Under the ordinary legal aid scheme, it will go up from $260,000 to $269,000. For SLAS, from $1.3 million to $1.348 million. On the 2nd of April, the administration issued a paper to the HALS panel, and members did not raise any particular comments. Should this go through, it will come into effect on the date it is gazetted. All right, bills, a subcommittee. Mr. Dennis Kwok proposes a subcommittee. Any objection? Any members wishing to join? All right, there will be further invitation to members. As usual, we will ask the administration to withdraw the notice for the subcommittee to have time to scrutinize the document. All right, proposed resolution under Section 29 of the Pharmacy and Poisons Ordinance, Cap 139, to be moved by Secretary for Food and Health. Legal advisor. Chairman, paper LS 48. This resolution seeks the Council's approval of the Pharmacy and Poisons Amendment No. 3, Regulation 2013, and the Poisons List Amendment No. 3, Regulation 2013, to add 3 substances to the first and third schedules to the Pharmacy and Poisons Regulations, and Division A of Part 1 of the schedule to the Poisons List Regulations. And they are used to treat AMD and also bone cancer. Now, with the inclusion of these substances, the sale and supply of these substances will be subject to certain restrictions. And should this go through, they will go into effect on the day it is gazetted. All right, subcommittee. If not, the administration will move the proposed resolution at the Council meeting on May the 22nd. Members' motions. Motion on actively promoting family-friendly policies by Ms. Starry Lee, and the motion on enhancing the overall sustainable competitiveness of Hong Kong to be moved by Dr. Lam Tai Fai. Deadline for giving notice of amendments is May the 14th. The list containing 7 items of subsidiary legislation, the period for amendment of which will expire on May the 22nd, has been tabled. The relevant draft report, paper CB2 1100/12 to 13/01, has been issued, And if you wish to speak, please do so before midnight on May the 13th.
Next, report of bills committees and subcommittees. Report of the subcommittee on proposed resolution under the Road Traffic Ordinance and the Road Traffic Driving Offence Points Ordinance. The Honourable Frankie Yick. Yes, Chairman. The main purpose of the proposed motion under the RTO Cap 374 and the Road Traffic Driving Offence Points Ordinance is to make technical amendments to Schedule 11 to the RTO and the schedule to the DPO so as to accord them with the amendments made to the bylaws of the 4 BOT tunnels as far as the entries of driving offence points are concerned. The subcommittee held one meeting and we have completed our scrutiny work. Members generally supported the proposed motion of the administration and members will not make any amendments to the proposed motion. The detailed deliberation of the subcommittee is already contained in the report. That is for noting by members, please. I'd like to remind members that the deadline of giving notice of amendments, if any, is Wednesday, 22nd of May. Second one, report of the Subcommittee on Banking Capital Amendment Rules 2013 and the Banking Disclosure Amendment Rules 2013. Verbal report by the Honourable Ng Leong Sing. Chairman, the purpose of the two amendment rules is to comply with the capital standards of Basel III, which came into effect on the 1st of January 2013. Capital requirements contained in the latest guidance documents issued by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision are incorporated into the banking capital rules, and the banking disclosure rules are amended to prescribe requirements regarding disclosure by authorized institutions of the capital inadequacy and associated relevant financial information. The subcommittee held one meeting with the administration. The administration confirmed that the two amendment rules are aligned with the latest standards of the Basel Committee. Members supported the two amendment rules. Members discussed the implementation of Basel III in Hong Kong and the impact of the two amendment regulations on banking operation. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority replied that banks did not have any difficulties implementing the new capital standards, and the two amendment rules would probably not have a great impact on the banking sector. The subcommittee noted that the banking sector supported the two amendment rules. The subcommittee will not propose any amendment to the two amendment rules. The subcommittee will submit a written report to the House later. Right, thank you. The next one, report of the Subcommittee on Residential Care Homes, Persons with Disabilities Ordinance Commencement Notice. The Honourable Cheong Kwok Chi. Thank you, Chairman. The subcommittee has completed the scrutiny of the Residential Care Homes Persons with Disabilities Ordinance Commencement Notice 2013. The subcommittee held two meetings with the administration, and 12 deputations and individuals were received in one of those two meetings. In the course of scrutiny, members discussed the implementation of the licensing system for RCHDs, the renewal arrangements for RCHDs with certificates of exemption, compliance with the licensing system by RCHDs, the impact the licensing system had on private RCHDs and their inmates, and measures to render assistance to RCHDs. Details of our deliberation are already in the report. The subcommittee does not propose to make any amendments to the notice. Thank you. I'd like to tell members that if you'd like to extend the scrutiny period, the notice, if it is passed by Council before the expiry of the scrutiny period, the deadline for amending the notice will be the 5th of June. But then, if it is not extended, the deadline for giving notice of amendments is the 29th of May. And also the scrutiny period of the notice will actually expire at the Council of 15th of May. Next, position on bills committees and subcommittees. As at the 9th of May, there are 11 bills committees, 8 subcommittees under the HC, and also 7 subcommittees on policy issues under panels in action. 3 subcommittees on policy issues under panels are on the waiting list. AOB, I have nothing under AOB. I know members do. Ms. Sitho, please be brief. Yes, thank you, Chairman. Thank you very much. This is related to the work of the committees. On Wednesday, we set up a select committee, which is quite unprecedented. Now, I'd like to ask the Secretariat to let us know the work schedule. I have looked at the rules of procedure, and I understand that this select committee does not have the powers of summon under the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Ordinance, but apart from that, everything else will just be like a select committee. But how should we start the work of this select committee? Let me say this here. Since the select committee was mentioned on Wednesday, and our agenda for this meeting actually had its deadline by 5 p.m. on a Tuesday. So I think I'll handle this at the next meeting, and I will ask the Secretariat to look into this so members and everybody else would be properly prepared for discussion at the next meeting. I have requested that to be done, and also during next week I can have some private discussion with you so that we can find a way to start the select committee to save time. For example, usually there will be a preparatory committee. You will be talking about the number of members and also the terms of reference, and then these will be submitted to the House for endorsement. This is what is usually done, and I hope that next week I can have some discussion with relevant members. And if the Secretariat can help put together some information as to how we should proceed, then we can have some discussion at the next House committee. All right, Chairman, then I would hope that the Secretariat can prepare a paper as soon as possible. I think the SG has heard us. All right. Any other business under AOB? If not, thank you.